There are absolutely no limits to the ways that we can work and play with parts of self or aspects of divine consciousness, the soul self that we are, as we explore parts of self through a lens of neuroscience, consciousness, and unconditional love. To explore and understand our sense of self, inner realities, and details of personal experience, shift and transform anything that could use some healing nourishment and restoration through loving liberation, and improve and expand the quality of our personal life beyond anything we have previously encountered, because aspects of self are more unified throughout the self, and the body mind miracles are upgraded to energetically support the navigation of everyday miracles through unconditional love. Through my trifecta treasure trove, there are so many different ways that we can achieve all these intentions and so much more as we work and play with parts of self through this lens of neuroscience, consciousness, and unconditional love. Today, I'd like to walk you through a simple 3-step process, which is one of the foundational techniques I use when I serve my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sojourners through personalized sessions. And you can also explore many of these concepts through self-guided journeys in my work as well. And through the deepest dive, I offer 3 or 6 month one-on-one personalized pathways where we meet for weekly sessions, and it's complemented by a variety of self-guided journeys as well. So today, let's explore this 3-step process to work and play with parts of self to achieve these intentions, to explore and understand sense of self, inner realities, translations of personal experience, to shift and transform anything that needs some healing, restoration, and loving liberation, and to improve and expand the quality of life by reunifying self aspects and upgrading navigational potentials in the body mind, resculpting how trillions of navigational networks flow through brain-body wiring and affect how consciousness experiences its individuated essence in the human form. The first step is to understand and explore how parts of self are experiencing the details of life through body-mind miracles and brain-body wiring. And so this is a very multi-layered process because there's the details of personal experience, there's the brain-body wiring that's translating the abstract stimulus into that personal experience, and then there are all these different aspects of the self who are within the personal experience, and then there is the awareness of self who holds infinite power to influence all of it. And the way that aspects of self are experiencing brain-body wiring is not evident or obvious or apparent just by looking at the personal experience. And so, for example, if there's somebody struggling with anxiety, depression, an eating disorder, unpleasant sensations, complex trauma, any disruption in patterns of thinking, feeling, moving, or responding, difficulties in communication internally or externally, mind-body disconnect, the list goes on and on. Implicit health challenges can manifest in infinite ways. But if there's any disruption, then there is what is being observed within the experience, but that actually does not tell you anything about what's happening in the brain-body wiring or how parts of self are experiencing body-mind miracles beyond awareness. And this is where we can get really tripped up in the healing journey. Because if you're trying to heal anxiety, you're trying to resolve a clue without actually knowing why it's happening deeper within. And you're trying to support parts of self without actually being able to connect with who they are. Okay? This is really important. If you are struggling with any type of implicit health challenge, or you know someone who is, and this could be on a seemingly small scale, and there's just a little habit you're trying to change, or it could be a much bigger scale, and there's 20 years of complex trauma that have manifested through 85 different health challenges, and you're trying to address all of them, and you don't understand any of them, and the healing just isn't working right now, or anything in between. If we look at what is happening on the superficial surface level, the challenge or problem or struggle or health disruption that you want to resolve, in that process, you are not necessarily able to directly see into the brain-body wiring that's causing it. or connect with the parts of self who are within body, mind, miracles and actually experiencing it. And then you can't transform it because you're not understanding the cause of it, and you're not able to fully heal those aspects of self and be there for them because you're not able to connect with who they really are. And so the first step when we work and play with parts of self is to go through this process of distinction and connection, noticing the experience, exploring the brain-body wiring through a lens of neuroscience, exploring aspects of self with unconditional love, and expanding infinite power through consciousness, and looking at each of these layers individually and how they interact and connect with each other. And we do this by looking at 15 particulars, and you can find out more about this in my free masterclass here. You can check that out. But in summary, we look at 5 details of neuroscience, 5 details of body-mind navigation, and 5 characteristics of consciousness. And this is how we explore parts of self and body-mind miracles, details of brain-body wiring, and then that makes sense of what is being noticed within personal experience. Through neuroscience, we look at attachment development and neurodevelopment from the original experiences during early life of attachment development that began and initiated that brain-body development through neurodevelopment. That's a lot of words of saying development. Attachment development, neurodevelopment, brain-body development. We look at the original experiences during early life and the general process of attachment development and its impact on brain-body wiring and aspects of self. And then we also look at specific attachment needs that are affecting navigational patterns and brain-body wiring right here, right now. And that has nothing to do with the original experiences of attachment development. But by understanding that, the details of attachment development in general, independent of particulars of personal experience, we can understand how it's affecting the brain and body wiring right here, right now, even when attachment development was decades ago or whatever it might be. And so we look at specific attachment needs and how they're affecting navigational patterns and brain-body wiring right here, right now. And then we look at left-right brain hemispheres and the triune brain, the midbrain, forebrain, and hindbrain. And then we look at the nervous system in relation with social engagement, including the autonomic nervous system in relation with the polyvagal theory and its impact on cranial nerve functionality, and its correlation with navigational systems and brain-body wiring. And then we also look at the organization of navigational networks, especially patterns of feeling and movement in unconscious memories. So 5 details of neuroscience. And then we look at 5 elements of body-mind navigation. And this references the etiological quintet of body-mind navigation, an original concept developed through my implicit revelations case study. We can explore the organization of content and connectivity in trillions of navigational networks through 5 particulars: explicit and implicit data, data from every year of life, data in relation with particular roles with navigational priorities, data in relation with self-associations, and data in relation with associations with all other components of life or abstract experiential elements. And then we look at 5 characteristics of consciousness: the distinction and connection between consciousness and brain-body wiring, understanding that the essence of consciousness actually exists and operates independently of brain-body wiring, but is a channel through which the soul is experiencing the human form through. We look at the true identity of the self from a lens of unconditional love and get to know the aspects of consciousness, the foundational frequency of the soul as love, light, and miracles. Unconditional love, sacred love, infinite love. Love's sacred witness, love's sacred power, love's sacred abundance, love's sacred champion, love's sacred presence, love's sacred bliss, love's sacred joy, and love's sacred embodiment. Love, light, and miracles, infinite love. And as we start to explore the identity of the soul, we start to connect with the energetic essence of the foundational self during early life, before the brain and the body were wired into what exists now today. And this is especially looking at the energetic essence of self, not the details of experience, the energetic essence of self between ages 2 and 12, also described as the inner child. But I refer to it as the foundation of self-essence, because it's more than just a child. It is the truth of who we are, the foundation of our essence. And so we look at the foundation of self-essence before the brain and the body were wired into the state of being that now exists. And that's especially looking at the essence of self, not details of experience, the essence of self between ages 2 and 12. And the essence of self existing right here, right now, in this eternal now moment, which again explores the energy of self-essence independently of details of experience, and how the essence of self from then and right now is connected. And then as we explore the aspects of self connecting those aspects of self, we're able to explore how brain body wiring through those details of neuroscience and body mind navigation are affecting parts of self and affecting the way that the self is able to encounter its authentic identity. And then we explore characteristics of consciousness. And this is done through a variety of lenses, including looking at masculine and feminine energy is one of the primary things we explore here. There's also the opportunity to explore other characteristics of consciousness, such as the energetic attributes of the chakra centers, the elements of earth, air, fire, and water, and other characteristics such as love, joy, peace, creativity, expansion. And we look at how those are actually energetic attributes of consciousness. Now that we're exploring who and what is consciousness, who and what is the identity of the soul, and distinguishing the essence of consciousness and the identity of the soul from the details of brain body wiring and personal experience. And then one of my personal favorites, we explore how the infinite awareness of consciousness is navigating infinite energy. How the infinite awareness of consciousness is navigating infinite energy. And then we get more specific and how consciousness is experiencing the navigation of perceiving, receiving, sustaining, and emitting energy. And this dives even deeper because we explore this in relation with body-mind wiring through the trifecta treasure trove. All of these concepts are integrated in the diagrams developed and shared through the trifecta treasure trove. So we explore how infinite awareness is navigating infinite energy, and more specifically, how divine consciousness is experiencing the navigation of perceiving, receiving, sustaining, and emitting energy through body-mind miracles. And then we also explore inner and outer realities bridged through mind, body, and spirit, where there's a sense of inner and outer reality encountered through the mind, through the body, and through spirit, and how those individuated elements of consciousness, characteristics, components of consciousness, are then connecting to simulate particulars of how we encounter everyday life. So through those 5 details of neuroscience, 5 components of body-mind navigation, and 5 characteristics of consciousness, we explore how parts of the self are experiencing body-mind miracles and brain-body wiring beyond awareness, and then we can understand any personal experience in a new way. I'm talking any personal experience. There is nothing that's off limits here. There's nothing that's off limits here. It could be the most unique, extraordinary, misunderstood, complex, mind-blowing, inexplicable experience. And this modality allows us to understand how consciousness is experiencing body-mind miracles and brain-body wiring beyond awareness, and it will make sense of that experience in a whole new way. So there's absolutely nothing that's off limits here. Any sensation of personal experience, and I mean truly any sensation. Think of a sensation you're encountering right now in your personal realities. Any sensation within your sense of self, any sensation within your inner realities, any sensation about how your own beingness is instinctively translating, interpreting, and navigating or projecting into everyday life. Anything. And I promise you, this modality can help make sense of it in a brand new way. And again, the intention here is to explore and understand sense of self, inner realities, personal experience. And then if there's anything that needs to be shifted or transformed, such as a disruption within our sense of self, inner realities, or details of personal experience, then we have an opportunity to achieve that and to improve and expand our quality of life. So there truly are absolutely no limits here. Nothing is off limits. Everything is welcome here. And this is a journey that can really make sense of so many different details of our human experience. Okay, secondly, once we understand what's causing that personal experience in relation with brain-body wiring and how parts of the self are experiencing body-mind miracles beyond awareness, including information being projected throughout trillions of complex navigational networks, then our next step here is to explore what attachment needs are at the foundation of that brain-body wiring, and what attachment needs are at the foundation of getting to know those parts of self for who they truly are. Through the trifecta treasure trove, we explore around 30 specific internal attachment needs that all affect different regions of brain-body wiring in specific ways. and all connect with different parts of the self who have their own unique identity in relation with how the soul essence of consciousness is flowing through brain-body structures into the uniquely individualized human experience. And this allows us to take a step further in really understanding our personal experience, not just from the brain-body wiring, not just from a region of understanding brain hemispheres and their characteristics and personality attributes and the way that they connect and have individual strengths they contribute to the conversations of consciousness, and not just exploring the triune brain, the midbrain, forebrain, hindbrain, and mind-body-spirit connection, not just exploring the nervous system in relation with social engagement and 5 states of autonomic nervous system activity in relation with the polyvagal theory, and not just exploring unconscious memories and the patterns of feeling and movement and navigational networks in the body-mind, not just exploring how neurodevelopment first originally sculpted all of these miracles into being through attachment development, not just exploring masculine, feminine energies and how these energies of consciousness are flowing through brain-body wiring and supported by all these components of neuroscience in a very specific way, not just exploring the identity of the soul as infinite love, sacred love, unconditional love, not just connecting with the foundation of self-essence from early life and this present moment and all the parts of self bridging those inner realities, not just exploring inner and outer realities through mind, body, spirit, not just exploring the navigation of infinite energy as consciousness is infinite awareness, navigating infinite energy, and then personally experiencing the navigation of perceiving, receiving, sustaining, and emitting energy, not just exploring all of that, but then exploring how specific attachment needs are influencing all of that, influencing all the brain-body wiring, influencing all the energetic patterns of the body-mind, influencing all the characteristics and components of consciousness, influencing all the ways that the soul essence is flowing through the physical form into the details of personal experience. We explore how attachment needs, specific attachment needs, are affecting all of it. And so then we're able to understand that personal experience in relation with the brain-body wiring, but then also in relation with specific internal attachment needs that are holding it all together. And then those attachment needs and how they relate with parts of the self, and how those self aspects are able to experience their own true self through body-mind miracles. And then we can connect deeper and hold space for those parts of self because we're meeting them for who they really are, not for how distortions of navigational projections are disrupting our connection with those parts of self, which is what happens when there's any implicit health challenge, when there's psychosis, dissociation, complex trauma, anxiety, depression, a disruption in the way you experience your sense of self, a personality disorder, mood disorder, dissociative disorder, any disruption of navigation that doesn't have an explicit descriptor. Maybe sensations of feeling small or inferior, or critical or judgmental, or insecure or timid, or overwhelmed and plagued with worry, or any disruption in mind-body connection, or any disruption in patterns of thinking, feeling, moving, choosing, or responding, or a disruption in capacities for internal or external communication. In those experiences that could use some healing, nourishment, restoration, and loving liberation, as we tend to the opportunity to shift and transform the challenge that we're facing, we're not able to connect with the truth of who parts of self are, because the aspects of self have nothing to do with that challenge, have nothing to do with that disruption of navigation, have nothing to do with that implicit health challenge or experience. And so a big purpose of working and playing with parts of self, which is something that I offer through my trifecta treasure trove, is to really get to know who parts of the self truly are, to understand the deeper meaning behind the personal experience, to see the experience, but then to explore the brain-body wiring, be like, wow, okay, there's all these miracles, and I see how all these different miracles are interacting and how that's actually contributing to that experience, and to understand the deeper underlying reality of it. But then to also connect deeper with who parts of self are. If the brain and the body were totally wired to perfection, who would the self be? If there wasn't that disruption within experience, who would that self actually be? And when we can start to hold space for those parts of self from this lens of neuroscience, consciousness, and unconditional love, validating and honoring the experience they're facing, now that we understand the details of brain-body wiring and the structures of body-mind miracles through this lens of neuroscience in relation with how consciousness flows through brain-body structures. But then we actually connect deeper with parts of self. We hold space for the validity of what they're experiencing, but then we actually start to connect with who they truly are, which has nothing to do with that. The truth of the self has nothing to do with those details of brain-body wiring, body-mind miracles, or personal experience. The self is so much more. But because the self flows through these navigational structures, the navigation does not necessarily allow us to instinctively know the truth of the self. And so this provides us an opportunity to really connect deeply with parts of self, to honor them and hold space for them and bridge worlds with them and reunite with them and start to guide them to know themselves through love, and to allow these parts of self to meet themselves as love and to know these other aspects of self as love. And so the first step here, working and playing with parts of self, is to explore how parts of self are experiencing body-mind miracles, brain-body wiring, and how that makes sense of the personal experience. And then the second step is to explore the specific attachment needs that are holding all that brain-body wiring together, and we explore the details of that as well. And the attachment needs that can allow us to actually connect deeper with parts of self because they link worlds with the truth of who the self is as love. As love. And then the third step is, what is a daily practice that can be used for any duration of time? The amount of time you invest is not as important as how powerful the practice is because of its precision and potency and the consistency of actually showing up to use it. So it doesn't matter if it's a 30-second practice or a 3-hour practice. What matters most is the precision, potency, and power of the actual practice and your consistency in showing up to actually use it, to actually practice it. That's what's most important. And so the third step is, what is a practice we can use to fulfill your specific intentions with everything we've just learned? Now that we're more connected with the self, we're holding space for the self in a brand new way, and we can understand the details of personal experience in a brand new way. And whether you wish to just practice deeper awareness and understanding your own being, whether you wish to transform and shift something very specific within the brain-body wiring or how body-mind miracles are navigating personal life, sense of self, details of experience, or sensations of inner realities, or everything's going well and you're like, I'm just ready to improve and expand. I'm just ready to improve and expand my sense of self. I'm ready to improve and expand body-mind miracles. I'm ready to improve and expand brain-body wiring. I'm ready to improve and expand how the quality of my own inner being can experience unconditional love and pure magic in my everyday life. What is a daily practice that can help to fulfill that intention from everything we just learned here? And a lot of the times, the most powerful practice, just depending on your specific intentions, but a lot of the times, the most powerful practice is one that nourishes attachment needs for the body-mind and expands inner unity with all parts of self through an identity of infinite love. And that practice alone, just nourishing those attachment needs and connecting with the self through love, holds enough power to resculpt brain-body wiring, to restructure body-mind miracles, to reunify parts of self, to lovingly liberate these aspects of self, to shift and transform how your inner being is experiencing everyday moments, to improve and expand the quality of everyday life through the expansion of your own consciousness. So those 3 steps, exploring how parts of self are experiencing brain-body wiring and body-mind miracles to make sense of personal experience, to pinpoint the attachment needs that are holding all that brain-body wiring together, which allows us to have a deeper connection with parts of self through this infinite love that is the truth of beingness. And what is a simple, fun, easy, and yet potent, powerful, and created with precision to fulfill that specific intention, whatever it might be for you. A daily practice that can use everything we just learned to fulfill whatever your intention is. I want to transform this anxiety. I want to shift this experience of dissociation. I want to restore my body-mind to full mind-body connection, whatever it might be for you. I want to connect deeper with parts of myself and feel a greater expansion of wholeness from within my own being. More contentment, more bliss, more joy. And then we use all the info we just learned to create a practice that can fulfill your intention, which often includes a way to nourish those specific attachment needs and connect deeper with those parts of self. Through my trifecta treasure trove, I've created original new modalities that allow us to utilize all of these concepts in one simplified journey, exploring all those details of neuroscience, body-mind navigation, and components of consciousness to practice all these different steps and integrate them in a way that allows you to understand your experience, connect deeper with parts of self, and create daily practices that can help to understand, improve, expand, shift, transform anything you desire. And so we explore parts of self through the left-right brain hemispheres, midbrain, forebrain, hindbrain, attachment development and neurodevelopment, the nervous system in relation with social engagement, and patterns of navigation, especially held in unconscious memories with sensations of feeling and movement at the foundation of subconscious or unconscious navigation, and explicit and implicit data from every area of life, data with particular navigational roles and priorities, self-associations and abstract associations of experiential elements, and characteristics of consciousness, distinguishing who consciousness is, what consciousness is, from brain-body wiring, exploring the identity of the soul essence, exploring characteristics of consciousness, including masculine, feminine energies, and exploring inner and outer realities through mind-body-spirit unification, and exploring how the infinite awareness of consciousness is navigating infinite energy of personal experience, including experiencing the navigation of perceiving, receiving, sustaining, and emitting energy within personal experience. So we explore those 15 concepts to understand parts of self and details of personal experience. And then there's 30 specific attachment needs we explore to understand who the self is and how that self is encountering brain-body wiring and how these attachment needs are actually holding all these body-mind miracles together. And then once we have that understanding, we can create a daily practice to apply it. And this journey is done in a 3-step process through my one-on-one sessions, which are available through single Sacred Soul sessions, but also multi-month personalized pathways with ongoing weekly sessions for 3 to 6 months, also complemented by content creations. And in this 3-step process, the first is a treasure trove tete-a-tete, where we discuss these ideas. The second is body, mind, soul, self treasure mapping, where we draw out simplified, fun, colorful, easy to understand diagrams, treasure mapping the miracles of you to understand everything we just talked about. And the third is to create a personalized play prompt prescription. Oh yeah, you heard that right. A personalized play prompt prescription. How would you like to be prescribed play to heal your anxiety? How would you like to be prescribed play to heal your dissociation? How would you like to be prescribed play to balance masculine and feminine energies? How would you like to be prescribed play to reconnect mind, body, and spirit? How would you like to be prescribed play to lovingly liberate all parts of yourself? How would you like to have a prescription of play? And so treasure trove tete-a-tetes, we're discussing these ideas, body, mind, soul, self, treasure mapping. We're drawing these out in a fun, simple, easy way because, yeah, those are a lot of complex concepts, but we're going to make this simple and fun. And then a personalized play prompt prescription. You are prescribed play, a practice that you can use every day that is precise. It's precise. It's a practice that will specifically achieve your intention, whether that's expanding left-right brain connection, midbrain, forebrain, hindbrain, unity, regulation in the nervous system in relation with social engagement, the nourishment of attachment needs, reunifying parts of self, balancing masculine and feminine energies, reconnecting mind, body, and spirit, resolving an implicit health challenge, whether that's severe complex trauma or something maybe a little less complex than like 20 years of like dozens of different traumatic experiences. But there's no limits here. There's no boundaries. There's nothing that's impossible. Anything can be accomplished through this modality. It's so transformative. And so then a personalized play prompt prescription, and this especially includes practices that can nourish attachment needs to resculpt brain-body wiring, to support body-mind miracles, and reunify parts of the self. And so it's fun, it's easy, it's simple, it's enjoyable. You enjoy showing up for it. It is rewarding and fulfilling, but it is also precise to achieve the intention that you desire. It's also so precisely sculpted that it gets to accomplish so much while you're having fun. It gets to accomplish so much while you are doing something that feels good to show up for. And it is powerful, and it is potent. Powerful, potent, precise, but also really fun. It's a prescription of play prompts. It's a prescription of play prompts. So 3 steps to working and playing with parts of self. Just a little recap here. Never hurts to hear it again. Never hurts to hear it again. Repetition is power. Repetition is what creates the unconscious procedural memories that navigate our existence from the inside out. Repetition is good. So 3 steps. 1 is to understand the neuroscience of your personal experience, to connect with parts of self and how they're experiencing brain-body wiring beyond awareness. The 2nd is what attachment needs are affecting those parts of self and that brain-body wiring. And the 3rd is, what is a daily practice I can use to apply these insights to shift, transform, improve, and expand any particular area of my personal experience. And when you connect with me through sessions, we then explore this through a 3-step journey. 1, treasure trove tete-a-tete. We talk about it. We explore it. We discuss it. The 2nd is body, mind, soul, self treasure mapping. We draw it. The 3rd is a play prompt prescription that's personalized to you. What is a fun daily practice we can create for you? And I have hundreds in my back pocket from my own self-healing journey and all the work that I've done and my implicit revelations case study during these past 6+ years. Personalized play prompt prescription, so that now that we've talked about it and you even have a drawing to really understand and explore your inner reality, sense of self, and details of personal experience, how can we actually apply it in a tangible somatic way to shift, transform, improve, and expand all that you are from the inside out? Treasure trove tete-a-tete, body, mind, soul, self treasure mapping, personalized play prompt prescription. And I offer this through single sacred soul sessions, which is a one-time session, anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours, just depending how deep you want to dive. And it includes playbooks to support your journey before, during, and after our call, or for the deepest dive, to truly explore all the different corners of the miracles of you, to explore multiple experiences through multiple layers of everything we just talked about, the 5 details of neuroscience, 5 details of body-mind navigation, and 5 components of consciousness, to explore those 15 elements in relation with a variety of personal experiences, to understand and explore all parts of yourself, to shift and transform a severe challenge or several little things that are coming up, or just to have the toolkit and the skill set to transform and shift anything moving forward. And then to improve and expand your sense of self, inner realities, and personal experience from the inside out on the deepest layer imaginable. Through a 3 or 6 month journey, through reborn as infinite love, we have weekly video sessions, and you also have several playbooks, several different self-guided journeys, so that you can explore all of this before, during, and after our time together. And this multi-month journey is designed to teach you these skill sets so that they can serve you now, but also in the months and years to come. Months down the road, years down the road. These insights, this understanding, this knowledge, this wisdom, this reference guide of being able to create simple, fun, colorful treasure maps of your own body-mind miracles through a lens of understanding the individual elements and connection throughout these 15 different components I just described, and how that's affecting infinite parts of your soul essence, your divine consciousness, your actual self-essence, the sense of self you are that is never defined by the human experience or limited by brain-body wiring. You actually have a skill set to explore these individual components and their relationship together and create a simple, colorful treasure map to understand it, and then to create a play prompt prescription for yourself moving forward. Because after working together every week for many months, complemented by several different self-guided journeys, hundreds of pages that you have lifelong access to, this will not just be a guided journey where you have some transformation right here, right now. It will also be a cultivated inner skill set that can serve and support you in infinite ways moving forward. If you're interested in a multi-month journey, I would love to connect with you through a miracle meeting, a brief video call where you can ask clarifying questions and share your intentions. And I can answer those questions and also share about how this journey can be customized and tailored, personalized to perfectly fit who you are, where you're at, and what your intentions are, so that your intentions can be fulfilled through this investment in your own healing, nourishment, conscious expansion, and loving liberation. I also offer self-guided journeys at all different levels, beginner, intermediate, and advanced, with different lengths of content, different durations of how long it might take you to progress through that content, and different investments in yourself. So whether you're interested in a self-guided journey, a one-on-one single sacred soul session, or a multi-month personalized pathway, a 3 or 6 month journey through reborn as infinite love, I would be absolutely honored to connect with you and serve and support your journey moving forward. If you're not yet ready for this deeper dive in your inner investment, I also have free gifts, free PDF downloads, libraries of videos and content creations, and a MagiiiK portal email list where you can receive tips, tricks, and tools that explore these concepts, explore the abstract teachings and their personal specific applications, and guided practices and journeys that can serve and support you. You can find out all the details in the video description below, and you can always email me directly with any questions, or if you would like to order a self-guided journey, schedule a one-on-one session, or connect through a miracle meeting to discuss the possibility of a multi-month journey. I would be absolutely honored to serve and support your pathway through these wondrous, incredible miracles. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being you. I'm so grateful to share this sacred space with you. I hope you have a beautiful and blessed day, and do take time to explore these 3 steps, to look at your personal experience, any sensation of your inner realities, and to explore what is happening in the details of my brain-body wiring through a lens of neuroscience to make sense of this in a new way. And how are parts of myself actually encountering body-mind miracles, the wiring of trillions of navigational networks beyond my awareness? And how can I connect deeper with who they really are beyond the details of personal experience? And then what attachment needs would allow me to connect deeper with these parts of self and to understand the underlying structures of this brain-body wiring? And from that expanded understanding, what is a daily practice I can use to nourish those attachment needs, connect deeper with parts of self, shift and transform this brain-body wiring, and improve and expand my quality of life from the inside out?